But that wasn't the last weird location that he found. There was another place that he found. He said he was trying to get out of body one night when he decided to try a different method where instead of, I guess, coming out front ways or something, he decided to kind of roll 180 degrees to the side. And when he did that, he was able to roll out of his body, but then he was just facing this big black hole around him. He couldn't see, it was black. I mean, he really couldn't see anything around it. He would run into this black hole on a regular basis when he would do the 180 method, just kind of rolling out to the side of his body. He would run into the black hole on a regular basis, and he was too scared to go into it because it was kind of freaky. And one time he kind of put his hand in it, and then another hand shook his. And he was like, okay. But then another time he put his hand in it, and something put a hook through his hand. And it didn't hurt because it was astral, but it still was unsettling. He could tell that wasn't friendly. Another time he put his hand in there, and suddenly it was like his hand was being boiled. When he retreated back into his body, and that hand was essentially asleep for the next 20 minutes after that. But finally, he decided to do a little more exploration. I guess this guy was endlessly curious. I would have just been like, okay, I'm not going there. But he decided to check it out. And at first, he would just go into the black hole and just travel in there for a few minutes. He couldn't see a thing, and it was kind of scary because how do you get out when you can't see anything around you? And finally, he just decided, okay, I need to stop this. And he went back to his body, and he'd been gone for 3 hours and 15 minutes. He didn't know he'd been away for that long. But then he realized that all he had to do when he was in this locale 3 was just say something like clarity now. I want to see better. And just intend for there to be light, essentially. And then everything would clear up and he could see what was going on around there. And locale 3 was some other Earth. Maybe it was Earth, maybe it was another planet. And things were kind of the same as they are on Earth, but it was clearly not Earth. They had cars that just we never existed with cars like these. They were super long, and instead of a steering wheel, they used like a steering bar. They had a different kind of energy that they used. It wasn't the same as the combustion energy that we use. It was just clearly a totally different reality from what we live on Earth. And he usually couldn't interact with anybody there. He would just kind of, observe them. But there was one gentleman who he could interact with by inhabiting his body.